Welcome back. In this video, Sandra will be discussing her journey from psychology to business and the best thing she did as an undergrad.
My career path certainly hasn't been linear because I started out in psychology and then switched into essentially a business degree. I ended up in procurement first with supply chain, and then that's led me to different roles in client management, so B2B client management within the loyalty space, really focusing on customer market share, working with various clients and financial institutions and various large Fortune 500 companies. I didn't set out to be a double major. I set out really with the focus of psychology because I had a huge interest in it. I think I was always interested in learning about people's motivation and behavior, and particularly my own. And because I wasn't born in this country and I was an immigrant, I was always learning about me in the context of this world that had changed around me. So I think I wanted to know how to be a better version of myself always. And I had this high interest in wanting to make sure particularly girls had a high self-esteem. But at some point down the line, I started to think, this is not where I want to continue going. I really want to find out if I can get a business degree, because I think that's really where I think my passion is. So I looked at everything and said, oh, I can just add, and I could probably 3 more semesters and I can probably knock this out. At the time, supply chain management or logistics was a huge degree that was happening. There was lots of recruiting happening on campus. So that certainly influenced my decision. So I ended up landing a 6-month internship at Boeing. And so I went off to Seattle, took a semester, worked for them, and that ultimately landed me my first role. It was quite interesting, especially for a young kid to come in and kind of go, I don't know what I'm doing, but here I am. They hired me for something, so it was quite a bit of great exposure. I actually, after a year, did leave, and when I came back to Arizona, my husband and I decided that we would open up a restaurant. I ended up having, 2 kids and ended up being in the restaurant for a few years. American Airlines ended up reaching out to me and said, hey, we'd love to talk to you. That led me to the next step of my career, which was moving to Dallas and working for American Airlines. I manage all of the food and beverage contracts. So I negotiated all of the contracts and onboarded all the snacks you have, all of the various components that went up for all of the flights, international and domestic. When I went in there, it was all about, all right, well, we've done a lot of cost mitigation at this point. There's still more strategic things that we could do, but how could we also enhance and add value to the customer experience, which then ultimately led me to a role within Advantage doing exactly that. So working on business development deals that really brought these partnerships together to bring the value ultimately to the consumers. I would actually craft letters that targeted them and said, listen, you have this, this product. We would love to have you in here. Here are the value proposition. Here's the reason why we think it would be a great fit in partnership. And we would have marketing materials and content packaged together, and we would send it out to select few who we wanted to work with. And then there was also people who were reaching out to us saying, hey, we'd love to have a partnership with you. So it was a lot of evaluating those as well. In the same way, if we want to invest in this, is there value first to our consumers as well as then to the company? I ended up spending really like 15 years of my career in more of that client management, developing programs side of the house. And that was absolutely such a fun place for me to be. And fast forward to this today, what I do, I take all of those bits and pieces, and that parlays into what I do for my clients today, as well as what I do overall in my career. And it's been just, it all comes together.
Thanks for joining us. Watch the next video to learn how Sandra overcame her shyness.